Welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Shauna. This is Kalana Yoga, and welcome to our very first live learning session. So, this is a new series that I am really excited to be offering inside of this group, the Yoga and Meditation for Working Moms Facebook group. This group is intended to help you learn, help all of us practice yoga and meditation and mindfulness as a tool for our own self-care so that we can show up as the best version of ourselves and really serve those that we love. So that is the purpose of this group. These live sessions are intended to bring some enlightenment, some more knowledge, allow us to learn more about yoga together, yoga on and off the mat. And so I am delighted to bring to you our very first live learning session today. Our topic today is setting daily intentions for mindful living. So, what are we going to cover today? We are first going to look at what an intention actually is, and we're going to define it as it compares to a goal, which is something that you might think that they are related, but they are different. We're going to introduce some yoga concepts called santosha and tapas. These are some concepts that we can use as we achieve our ability to set intentions. We're going to discuss how exactly this supports us as working moms and why we should try to aim to live our lives in a mindful way. And of course, we will practice setting an intention and going through that very simple process. So let's dive in. So, to begin, let's talk about what an intention actually is. So, an intention is different than a goal, and here's how. A goal is something that is an external outcome that you wish to achieve, and it's really something that's happening in the future. So, when you think about setting goals, you are probably thinking about maybe a end of year goal, an end of quarter goal, an end of month goal, maybe even a weekly goal or a 5-year goal, or we have all kinds of different lengths and levels of intensity in our goals. So, but goals are really forward focused. An intention is different than that because an intention really brings us back to the now. So, a real theme of this conversation today is going to be coming back to the present moment. And an intention is focused in the present moment, but it also really focuses on how you want to feel. It allows you to determine how you want your state of being to be portrayed. How do you want to show up in the world today? And how do you want to feel about yourself as you are showing up with your family, your friends, your coworkers, everyone that you engage with on a day-to-day basis? By setting intentions, we are building that muscle that helps cultivate awareness and live mindfully. So that is part of the goal of setting intentions. I know these words, they get conflated a lot. That is part of the objective of setting intentions, is to bring awareness and mindfulness to you throughout your day. So let's talk about how intentions relate to yoga. Like I mentioned, there are two concepts in yoga that I'd like to introduce to you today. There are a lot of concepts in the 8 limbs of yoga, and I'm not, hopefully eventually we'll cover a lot of different aspects of yoga philosophy, but these two really relate to intentions, and so I wanted to introduce them today. And these are part of the niyamas in yoga, and we'll learn more about those in another live learning. But what we're going to learn about is santosha and tapas and how those relate to intentions. So santosha is a yoga concept of contentment. One of the goals, one of the objectives of your yoga practice is to achieve a sense of contentment, and in a sense of, okay, I am okay, we are okay, things are okay. Imagine a time when you have felt completely content. What does that word evoke in you? How does that make you feel when you think about the feeling of contentment? What is contentment? It's acceptance of things that are without judgment. It's awareness and acceptance without judgment. You're not necessarily elated. You're not necessarily excited and super, super happy about something, but you are happy. You are content. And you're aware of all of the things and nothing's going wrong. It's all just fine. It's good. It's content. So by setting intentions, we are cultivating acceptance of the present moment and avoiding the constant chase for future outcomes. Our minds love to wander in the directions of the future and the past. We are always trying to think about one or the other. Most of our thoughts in our day, I don't have the exact number for you, most of the thoughts in our day are about the future, things that I have to do, things that I want to do, things that I don't want to do, things that I'm worried about happening, that I'm afraid of, all the things in the future. And a lot of our time is also spent on ruminating about the past. I did this. Should I have done that? Do I regret it? Am I happy about that? Am I proud? Is my ego a little stoked about that? What if I had done something differently? How would that have impacted me now or my future? Our brains love to pull us in the direction of the future or the past. Santosha, contentment, and setting intentions brings us back to the present moment. Santosha is being in the present moment and being content about it. It is contentment with how things are right now. A great example of this might be wanting to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds. So I'm always thinking about wanting to lose 10 pounds. Or I'm thinking about how I looked 10 pounds before. How I looked when I was younger and I was skinnier or whatever. Another example might be career. How much money you make. I would be so much happier if I made X amount of money. Tell me you've never thought that before. Santosha, contentment, is about stopping thinking about that 10 pounds in the future or that old version of ourselves and coming back to the present moment and saying, I love my body right now. I do. I love my body right now. I'm okay with who I am today. I am showing up with love and acceptance for exactly who I am. So I want you to think about how your mind works. Does your mind tend to go in the future or the past or both or either? And how does it feel to come back to the present moment and honestly say, I am completely happy with who I am at this very moment? I'll be honest, it might be harder than it seems. It might be confronting that that's a challenge for you. And that's okay. Part of this exercise is bringing that awareness and understanding that about ourselves. And the other side of this scale that we are trying to balance is the discipline piece. With discipline, we keep coming back to this practice and getting better at it. So let's talk about tapas. Tapas is a yoga concept that refers to discipline. Daily intentions encourage consistent mindful effort. It's not about grand changes, but small focused actions that build over time. So whereas the practice of coming to the present moment and practicing your santosha and practicing the feeling of contentment, even though it's maybe hard sometimes, that is something that you might not want to do every day. But with practice, you get a lot better at it. And that tapas, that discipline, is where if you are cultivating that discipline, that tapas, then you will come back to your practice of checking in, of setting intentions on a regular basis, and begin reaping the benefits of that practice. There is a benefit to setting intentions. There is a benefit to living mindfully in the present moment and cultivating santosha. But it requires discipline. It requires doing it even if you don't want to. Have you ever had a yoga class or any exercise experience at all where you were just like, gosh, I don't want to do that? But then you do and you're like, I am so glad I did. I didn't want to do it. I was tired. I was feeling really lazy, but then I did it and I feel so much better. That is tapas. That is you exercising your tapas, your discipline. You're making yourself get back into it even when you didn't want to. That consistency of small actions over time, that's what leads to big results. Maybe even the results of true santosha. Okay, so how does this affect us as working moms? These are great concepts, wonderful things to learn about, but let's drill it back into our day-to-day, our personal lives. How do we drive this home? Well, we talked a little bit about some of these concepts. So why for working moms? Well, intentions help you focus on the present moment. We're going to go into how to set intentions in just a moment. But why we set intentions is to come back to what we need, how we feel, and how we want to feel in the present moment, in the day, not in the future, in the now. How do I want to feel now? So by setting an intention, you are able to bring that awareness to your day, to your mind, and allow it to keep you present throughout the day. Especially if you're in the habit, if you practice the discipline of being in the habit of checking in with yourself throughout the day. It'll always bring you back to the present moment, allow you to see how you're feeling, and allow you to choose how you want to feel. Bring that power within you. Intentions improves your mindset and the energy that you bring to the day. If you have awareness that you are not feeling the way you want to feel, if you are not embodying the values that you wanted to embody, if you are not acting in the behavior that you wanted to act in today, then it gives you a chance to reset. It allows you to connect with your mindset and come back to the present moment and then re-engage with what that intention was, what you wanted to do for the day. If your mindset starts to wander, it brings it back to what your intention was, and that will reinvigorate you with energy to come back to those internal objectives, those internal desires, those values that you want to portray. I've mentioned values a few times. Focus on the values you have for yourself. There is no intention that I can provide to you that will guide you or motivate you to change anything. The root of your desire to change is based on your values. When you set an intention, you are saying, these are the values that I believe in, that I hold dear, and that I want to embody. This is who I want to be in the world. This is the kind of mother I want to be, the kind of leader I want to be, the kind of coworker or partner I want to be. So by setting the intentions, you are reinforcing your values on a regular basis. Mindfulness helps relieve stress, less worry, and rumination. We talked about this. Our mind loves to wander. By practicing intentions and practicing awareness and mindfulness, we're coming back to the present moment. When we're here, now, we are not in the future and we are not in the past. That practice, that disciplined practice of coming back to the present moment reduces stress just by the mere fact that you're here and not over there or not back there. You're here where things are not currently, there is no bear currently chasing you. There is no disaster currently inflicting you. You're you're sitting in your car, you're picking up your kids, you're doing the grocery shopping, you're at work completing a task. You're here. You're not all of the other places that are going to cause you stress, worry, and rumination. I hope this is making sense. I would love to hear in the comments if this is making sense. If you have any questions, if you'd like to talk more and elaborate on any of these concepts. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I do think that these are really important concepts to drive home. So let me know if this is landing.